Assalamualaikum and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 5, the final day of the Digital Skills Week at Malaysia Tech Month 2021. We're coming to you live virtually. Just as yesterday, today our topic will be focusing on digital global business services. My name is Asrul and I'll be your host for today. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome you here this fine morning on the 20th of August 2021. Thank you everyone for your attendance, taking time off to join us with this virtual platform for us to connect even in these unpredictable times. For those who just tuned in this week, let me bring you up to speed. The Malaysia Tech Month 2021, or MTM21 in short, is launched by the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, MDEC, throughout the month of August as a virtual month-long creation of electrifying digital and technology keynotes, workshops, discussion panels, and business matching sessions. It features distinguished groups of local and international industry speakers and investors to share their expert thoughts and experience in the 4IR digital economy. MTM 2021 will see exciting programs to allow the spotlight to be shown upon digital ecosystem leaders and creators, leading-edge companies as well as talents, enabling all stakeholders to discover new perspectives on domestic and global trends in artificial intelligence, drone tech, data analytics, fintech, Islamic fintech, e-commerce, agtech, creative games, and animation, and not forgetting the digital workforce. So before we move on, let me convey some housekeeping guidelines. Number 1, any questions for our speakers, you may submit them by the Q&A comment box. Number 2, meeting and chat rooms are available for attendees for your networking convenience. Number 3, please complete the survey for each of the sessions for us to continuously serve you better. And last but not least, number 4, should you require any technical assistance, please chat with our admin on the virtual platform. Thank you. Therefore, without further ado, join me in welcoming the first session of the day entitled Careers in Digital Global Business Services, Employer Track 1. Moderating this session is Encik Mohd Redzuan Affandi, Rahim, Director for the Sharing Economy Ecosystem Development, Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, MDEC. His main responsibilities include addressing key enablers such as policies and regulations, facilitating growth of sharing economy models in strategic sectors, and implementing gig workforce development programs for targeting communities. He is currently the Vice Chairman for the Technical Committee on Sharing Economy, with acts as the National Mirror Committee at global level. Therefore, with this, I pass over to you, Redzuan.
Okay, thank you, Hasrul. Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Good morning, Malaysia. Good morning, everybody from wherever you are joining this session. Thank you for participating. Please do spread the words to your colleagues, to your family members that they are not too late to participate in this session. So today, this morning, I'm moderating a session on the careers in the digital global business services. Together with me, I have 3 distinguished speakers, and Mr. Christopher Gerard, Ms. Santhi, and also Mr. Nigesh. So this session will basically share with you guys the opportunities within the digital global business services. That could be something, a term that is not familiar to many of you, but don't worry. The speakers and the panelists will basically share with you and what are the opportunities within this digital GBS, and for you to understand better and what are the new things or the things that is actually currently ongoing within this segment. So today, again, we have 3 speakers. The first one that will be presenting his information would be Mr. Christopher Gerard, or Mr. Chris, and he's basically the group head of the human resource and talent acquisition of the Ematic solutions. Chris basically brings a diverse background of work experience ranging from customer service, project management, business transformation, and now human resource or HR. He found his passion in HR, and he decided to pursue further into the field, and now has 4 years of experience in HR operations, talent acquisition, and talent development. He aims to continue bringing the values of the H, or the human, in HR at the forefront into the business and workforce. I think that's the introduction to Mr. Chris. And I think for the first slot, I would like to invite Mr. Chris. The floor is yours, and to run through your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Redzuan. Hi, Malaysia. Hi, good morning, everyone. And I hope everyone is in good health, and keeping with high spirits in this, unprecedented times, right? So again, thank you, MDEC, for giving us this opportunity to, share more about Ematic solutions, right? And our business, of course, mainly our job openings as well to the market, to the country, right? So yeah, so let me just dive in quickly, right? So we've been with MDEC together, I mean, as a MSc company for the last 5 to 6 years, right, in Malaysia, right? And we have been in Malaysia for almost 7 years right now. So before, when we started, we were just Ematic solutions in Malaysia, focusing on just email marketing, right? And this year, actually the past 2 years, 2 to 3 years, right, we have literally transformed our entire business to expand further our solutions, our services to the market, right? Not only in Malaysia, but also across Southeast Asia as well, right? And this year we have officially launched Ematic Group, right? Which we have now 3 business units under us, right? Ematic Solutions, one of them, Alexa's Agency, and Sub AI. I will explain more a bit further of what this each of this business unit do, but mainly our focus is to bring value to the market, to our customers, to Malaysia as well, our Malaysian customers, in terms of growth for their business, growth for their revenue and ROI as well, right? Mainly is to deliver that digital value, right, to the customers, right? And also, of course, not forgetting the users as well. So we started off in 2013 in Singapore, where Ematic Solution was launched, as you can see, up to 2020, right? So we've been fairly aggressive and active, right, throughout the years, especially when in 2016 and 2017, we went full force to launch in most of the Southeast Asia market, right? And then in May 2019, we launched our digital agency, which focuses on agency services, digital services. And again, in March 2020, we opened up the Ematic Group. So what we want to, I think our regional footprint, right, I would say in short, what we want to share to the customers and our key strong point of our business is 3 things, right? 7 years of operations in Southeast Asia, and a regional footprint with local support. So what I mean by local support is our local teams, right? Which the advantage is, they know the market presence, right? The market development, and of course, their local languages, right? So these are the key things that our local support can even deliver the value to our local customers, right? Our local, which is technically in a lot in the Southeast Asia, even in Malaysia right now, right? And even the last few years has been growing in the digital space, right? I would say complex industries has been moving their business or even opening a session or a subsection in their business in the digital areas as well, right? So, and of course, we are a global SaaS technology provider, right? And as you can see in this slide here, our product solutions and services, right? So each of our business units provide different solutions, but of course, still deliver the same value that we want to deliver to the market, right? So our Ematic Solutions business is very much on the tech space, right? We mainly still do email marketing as our solution. And of course, we have the others where, messaging, customer data platform, analytics, mobile marketing, and so on. Right, so we focus on the tech side of digital marketing, right, the solutions. And on the Alexa's Agency is the usual digital marketing services, right, which performance marketing, which ranges from Google, Facebook, and now we have TikTok and so on. With social media, web development, media buy, and creative, right, this is what we focus. And Sub AI is mainly our R&D arm, right, where we every day, our dev guys or engineers, right, they focus on, coming up, researching new discoveries, new martech, new ecosystem to further enhance our solutions and services or enhance our product. And of course, to see at the same time, what are the new things that is coming up in the market, right, in each market that we can offer to the customers, right? But of course, in all this also, we are still in alignment with the, where Malaysia, especially in Malaysia, where we are leading towards the digital age as well, the Industry 4.0. So we also focus on that to, I would say, to harness this advantage, also to journey together in Malaysia as we go along, right? So all local customers that has local presence, and even the opportunity to even expand further into other countries, we help them, right? So this is the opportunity that we want to give to our local businesses, right? So jumping into the job openings that we have in our Malaysia office. So this is part of Ematic Solutions openings, right? As you can see, it's 5 roles that we open, right? Mainly it's all juniors, right? And we are always hiring for this role. But as you can see, why juniors is because we really emphasize on career growth in Ematic, right? Emphasize on career growth. So as you can see, in each roles, right, at the bottom of the slide, we have a career path that is already set for each roles, right? So let me just dive in quickly on each of the roles, right? Junior Customer Success Manager, technically, it's a business consultant role, right? So where you focus on delivering, right, and focusing on delivering growth strategy, business strategy, marketing strategy, operational activities for the customers through customer success, right, through our products and solutions, right? And as a junior talent acquisition and human resource generalist, so this is within the HR role, right? And we want to focus on growing our businesses because at this very moment as well, we are looking to even grow further throughout internationally, right, throughout the world. So further support, but right, why we're hiring juniors? Because we have a good team, right, in place to train the juniors and also take on the operations quickly so that they can grow and learn and in their career path as well. So junior solution engineer, right? So this is very much a technical consultant. So it's not a tech support role, but it's more technical where you use data, right, to interpret these solutions and insights to customers, right? You may look at the dashboards or the platforms that they're using from us, right? And they can see how their businesses perform, right? So from there, as a technical consultant, you suggest technical solutions, right? Or technical insights to further improve their offerings to their market and to their business. So as a junior operations manager as well, this is very much an I would say more of an office operations and office manager role, right? This is the go-to person in the office to sort out needs, right? And at the same time, as a part of the ensuring the local operations in the office is going smoothly, right? So again, as you can see, each and every role, right, there's a career path that's been set to it, right? And we are also looking for other roles in our other business units, right, as you can see. So if you have some time, go through our Ematic website or our other businesses website, feel free to look through our open roles and submit your CVs. We would like to talk to you, right? So I think that's it for now from me, right? But if you have any questions, I'm open to take on any questions right now.
Thank you, Chris. I think let's get the panel through first. Then I think we'll bring on the question. It's cool to also heard that, Chris, when you're presenting just now, you mentioned the Ematic solution, though the position is a junior position, but there is a clear career path and for each of the position. I think that's very important. Again, it's about bringing humanizing this position. So those who are listening to this or watching this session, please, when it comes to the opportunity within this field, I believe it's not just for that particular position and you're going to start with it, but there are opportunities for you to further grow even after you join and assume that position. Yeah, I think, Chris, let's hold on the question. We are going to go through the other panelists first, and we bring in the question at the end of the session. That's okay with you?
Yes, cool. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Malaysia, and thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Don't go away.
Yes, sure. I'll stay in the line.
Okay. All right. So next we have Ms. Santhi Rajendran. who is the People Operations Partner of the PPG Coatings Malaysia. She's also another passionate individual and performance-driven professional. She has 15 years of combined expertise in human resource management, HR operations, talent acquisition, predominantly in insurance, property, shared services, and manufacturing industry. She's basically the strategic architect in the development of HR initiative to streamline processes and capitalize on operational growth opportunities. She also said that she's a creative thinker. She has a couple of awards, Employee Award and Blue Chip Employee Award. She's also continued to strive further in the HR world. And so far, I think she's continuing very strongly and showing no sign of stopping. So Santhi, I think now the floor is yours. Yes, bring it on and share with them what you have on your name. Thank you.
Okay, hello Redzuan. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the introduction and what we do here. So, okay, 1 minute, yeah. Okay, so thank you MDEC as well for this forum. PPG is actually glad to be reaching out to the job seekers via this forum. Now, without further ado, allow me to introduce PPG and the opportunities that we have for you. Okay, so PPG. PPG is an acronym for Pittsburgh Plate Glass. This is a Fortune 500 company. We have been around since 1883, and what drives us is our purpose. We protect and beautify the world. We are a global maker of paints and coatings and specialty materials. Our headquarters is in Pittsburgh, and from there on, we have expanded to operation 70 over countries. In Malaysia, we have offices in PJ, our manufacturing plant, and also in Shah Alam. This is our regional IT, finance, and HR hub. One of our key focus area is actually research and development. We are a recognized leader in innovation, color, sustainability, and this is how we have expanded into various business segments. Now, this is a brief introduction. I believe that for job seekers, when you want to look for jobs, it's important for you to get to know the company and to get to know their business. So here's a brief introduction on the two product segments which drive our billion-dollar business. When we speak of paints and coatings, even myself, I had the general perceptions that it's just the paint that we use for the house. It is insightful to know that coatings is actually part of our daily lives, be it in our canned drinks, the glasses that we use, the coatings used on airplanes, the marine coatings used for ships, the colors and coatings on cars, which we admire, and even the thin film on our passports. I know that I never looked at paint the same way when I started my journey with PPG. Okay, so at PPG, we believe in presenting ourselves as one PPG to the world, regardless of our background and responsibility. What is innovation to PPG? At PPG, our family of chemists, researchers, and professionals in more than 70 over countries around the world, we take part in continuous improvement. We spend millions globally on research and development. Innovation fuels our growth. PPG has bagged more than 30 R&D 100 awards for their exceptional innovation in coatings technology. We have employees across our labs working on new solutions for our customers. We are literally creating new colors daily. What about sustainability and what we give back to the environment? PPG has a sustainability vision whereby in terms of producing products which protect our environment, the sustainability vision is for us to preserve the environment for future generation. We are committed to deliver lasting value for our shareholders and customers by operating with integrity. We need to work safely and respecting the contributions of our people, preserving the environment and supporting the communities where we operate. Now, how does PPG give back to the society? I believe job seekers would also want to work with a company who leaves a legacy behind. So how does PPG give back to the society? It is through our Colorful Community program. We help the community grow in inspiring spaces. We complete the Colorful Community program in partnership with non-profit organizations or government entities. Under the Colorful Community program, we have completed more than 300 projects in over 40 countries since the program launched in 2015. Now, coming to the most important slide for the job seekers today. We have several vacancies across PPG. However, the three highlighted here are the key roles we are looking for, and we are hoping to get more traction from this forum. So we are looking for Azure Cloud Architects. It's good if you have 7 years experience in engineering large-scale complex systems. If you come with 3 years experience in Microsoft Azure environment, it'll be an added advantage for you. If you have the working knowledge, experience dealing with broad set of enterprise domains, regardless of whether it's from security, infrastructure, or development, this will be an asset as well. Now, going to data engineering and program analysts and system analysts, as long as you have strong SQL experience with Oracle databases, you'll be a good candidate for us. And prior development experience with Java or shell scripts will be good as well. Next, we go to data analytics and program associates. Basically, we are looking for fresh grad and entry level in this position. If you have data analytics, IT development, SQL data warehouse background experience, you'll be the candidate that we will consider. Now, why have I highlighted just these three positions? Is because the highlight for this session is actually our regional IT department. So having business presence in 70 over countries across the world, you will definitely need a single platform to manage the structured and unstructured data. So when you join the team, the regional IT team as a data analyst or a data engineer, you're basically connecting the dots on how supply chain is linked to finance, how it would affect our pricing. In the analytics world today, you could be working on a platform for finance, for inventory, sales, procurement, purchasing. And what we can guarantee you is your experience will cover definitely a wider area. And this is, once again, I would like to iterate, this is what we call business intimacy, where whichever function you are in, you are able to relate to your stakeholders and customers by understanding the nature of their business. Okay, so last but not least, I would just like to say that we have a year-round internship program. We have had close to about 5 successful conversion of interns to permanent role. And this is just for the first half of the year. And the numbers are definitely growing. So if you're keen for a career with PPG, do check out our website, ppg.referrals.selectminds.com. You can also Google up and look for PPG careers. You'll be directed to the same website. Now, here is a simple guide. I would think that this would be a good forum to share this session to share these points as well. Who are we looking for in PPG? Specifically, we have our PPG way where we have 6 tenets where we practice in PPG daily. And we think that the candidates who meet these requirements will be the best candidates who will be successful in a career with PPG. We are looking for a candidate who is able to partner with customers to create mutual value. Here, you basically need to have excellent communication skills. You need to be open to receive feedback. And with that feedback, you need to be able to address concerns. That's how you best work with customers. Next, we are one PPG to the world. So we are looking for candidates who are team players, simply because we are better and stronger together. If you want to go far, you need to go together, right? And third is, we need somebody who can make it happen. We need a person with a can-do attitude, with self-determination, and has the resilience to drive a task to completion. Regardless of whatever task that is given to you, we need to know that you will definitely make it happen. Next is, we run it like we own it. This is all about accountability and taking the lead and the ownership of your role. So a question back to job seekers, if this was your company, how would you run it? This is a question back to the job seekers. Next, we have continuous improvement. We need a person who comes in with the mindset of continuous improvement, whereby we do better every day. We want to hire someone who continuously keeps striving for excellence. And last but not least, I think this is important for the people whom are hiring for our IT department and generally for all the other functions. We need a person who is able to make decisions with a logical mindset. We need a person who is able to analyze the situation and come up with a sensible solution. You need to have big picture in mind. Think of long-term effect on your business, on your decision to our business specifically. So I'm done here. So once again, if you're keen to pursue a career with us, feel free to reach out to us at PPG Careers. Do visit the Digital Job Expo. Check out the roles that we have under PPG Coatings. PPG definitely looks forward to hear from you, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Santhi. That's great. If I'm still young, I would have applied for PPG. No,
You
seriously.
can still apply.
I see that. I mean, to those watching the session, again, PPG is Fortune 500 companies. Like what Santi mentioned just now. If you wanna go fast, you go alone. But if you wanna go, you basically need to
You
go
wanna go
together.
far.
Yeah.
Yes,
So you're
you wanna
gonna go
go far, you
far,
go together.
you go together. So yeah, I think there's also other things that was shared. I think it was a good sharing. Thank you very much. Those who are watching, please. I think this is actually an opportunity. If you think that there are others who need to be aware of this, and reach out to them, let them know, and that they can search for PPG and look for all these opportunities that's currently available. So thank you, Santi. I think we will come back for a Q&A session after this. So next, the last speaker that we gonna have for this session is Mr. Nikesh Ahman from Leaderonomics Digital. He basically has a long list of experience, but basically he used to work in real estate. He used to work with microchips, microelectronic companies. He used to also work as a trainer, facilitator, consultant for organizations such as Petronas and Maxis, Segi College, just to name a few. At Leaderonomics, he started his career as the client-facing learning and growth partner, then became the head of solutions and operations for Malaysia. And then later he became the chief strategist at the Leaderonomics Global Virtualization Initiative. Currently, he is the head of solution and services for Leaderonomics Digital, which is the product owner of Nicole. I hope I pronounced that correctly, which leads the team towards the growth and market realization of this learning experience platform. So he has a wide experience working with countless number of individuals from youth and seniors. So I think without further ado, I would like to invite Nikesh to take the floor and share your presentation. Off to you, Nikesh.
Thank you, Redzuan. And yes, you pronounced that absolutely correctly. Thank you for that. Thank you for the introduction. So good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining in the session today. And it's great to see every one of you virtually, albeit, but still great to see every one of you safe at home and enjoying this particular session with us. So I'm going to kind of do this in two ways. One is, of course, an introduction to us as Leaderonomics Digital, but we stand a lot for people growth and people development. So I kind of want to tell you as well, like what would be the key things that you have to pay attention to, especially when you're building yourself towards your career, how learning is shifting, how it's possibly going to shift in organizations, and how you can take advantage of that. And of course, at the end, what are the kind of job roles that are tied to a company such as ours and opportunities that possibly you can see if you are interested. All right. So first and foremost, to introduce Leaderonomics Digital. So we are actually a business unit or a business by itself, which is started together with Leaderonomics. Of course, Leaderonomics is 13 years old, but Leaderonomics Digital came as a genesis of us thinking 5 years ago that this space is going to start digitalizing very, very soon. So we thought, let's start getting ahead of the game and let's start doing this. And in 2018, we incorporated Leaderonomics Digital and started working on a scalable ecosystem when it comes to learning, engagement, and also development. So we have been working since then to try to find the correct suite of services and solutions for these kind of offerings for an employee's development journey. All right. So what are the solutions and services that we have right now? So we actually look across the spectrum of the employee life cycle, from onboarding, learning and development, them learning and sharing tested knowledge, and of course, engagement. So those four components are covered within the four sort of service and solutions we have. That's Leaderonomics Academy. It's using tech for learning management systems. Be pretty familiar to hear that term, learning management systems. The next is actually Nicole, where we're trying to redefine the method in which learning is experienced. Hence, we call it our learning experience solution. We're using a lot of tech, deep tech, and also combining and blending live or virtual human-led solutions into learning, because learning never detaches humanity from it. It always requires a human touch, even though you're learning online. The next part of it is mentor cloud, because mentoring is a relationship, and that's the key part of understanding mentoring. So we need to facilitate that relationship being built, that tacit knowledge being shared in a way that you can track those interactions that you're having. So that's what mentor cloud is all about. And finally, Budaya. Budaya is meant to be our live, on time, on demand engagement platform, employee engagement platform, and intelligence platform. So it actually redefines how you create a culture, how do you engage with your employees, all digitally via an app. It came just as we hit this MCO, and it's been something that's been a lifesaver for us as Leaderonomics Digital and Leaderonomics, and also for quite a few companies who've joined us with it. All right, so now done with that, here's where I want to kind of bring your attention to this, which is learners' behavior. So this is what is happening right now, especially as the generational shifts become more and more apparent. Yes, we are moving to a more Gen Y, Gen Z dominated marketplace and also employee space. Right now, generally is at about 40%. The next 3 years or so, we're going to go up to 50 and 60. And that means that that's the main buying and employee power. So we have to also understand how habits are changing together with technology. So when we see nowadays, most employees, they learn on the job, they learn at their own pace, they learn at their own time. So that's a key indices that 58% of employees prefer to learn at their own pace. So learning should now, or development should now change towards that direction more and more. How do you give opportunities where you use certain things that allow you to learn on your own, yet you don't lose the human touch? The next thing is there's a 17% increase in effectiveness when learning is done via micro-learning. So this goes with the YouTube culture, with the Facebook culture, all the social media culture as well. Our attention span don't last too long. So maximum 10 minutes, and then we want to go on to something else. So how do we give you effective learning within 10 minutes? Within 10 minutes, you get something and you can do something with that. And that's where our behaviors have gone towards versus sitting down for hours and trying to learn something. And then, of course, 40% savings in time in learning the same material through e-learning versus traditional classroom settings. So yes, actually, when we think about it, we would spend a lot of time in classrooms because classrooms are trying to blend so many things together. But the key thing here is if you start using e-learning as an enabler, then you start saving a lot of time. And that's what we noticed as well when we started going through our solutions and rethinking it as we virtualize, as we digitalize our solutions. We found that when we move things digitally, we actually started saving times on the live sessions. So there's no more the complaint that, oh, there goes my day in a classroom for 8 hours. Instead, we can do things quite effectively within 30 minutes, an hour. And if we blend it well, it would work well. Now, to think about that, this is what we essentially need to effectively learn and engage for future readiness. And there's always two parts to this. One is yourself, of course. And when anybody goes through any sort of skill development, they have to go through, or usually would go through, these 3 steps. From the very first step of gaining knowledge and comprehension, that awareness part, the application, learning how to use it, how to do it, how to actually analyze the results that come out of it, and the expertise part where you evaluate, synthesize, and also finally have the ability to re-teach it back. That's when you gain expertise. So you need to be able to put yourself through these 3 steps and use tools that enable you to do that. But of course, on the other side, it's not always you who's paying for it, or you may be the one paying for it, but your organization is also paying for it, or your business is paying for it. So what is the consideration for businesses? So tools or solutions need to be engaging in nature, because engagement means utilization is high. Therefore, the return of expectation or your investment in some form is well met. Next is relevance. it has to keep in context with what you need at that point in time, and it changes from time to time. So it needs to also be able to change and keep relevant. The next is resources. Of course, this day, we don't have money to throw around all over the place. So it needs to be very efficient in how we use those resources. Time is another factor. How do we efficiently use our time? Balance it against our work day. How do we grow every day? How do we keep aside time to use it effectively? And of course, that all brings down to energy. How do you not waste energy, instead use it well? And finally, tracking, the feedback loop. How do you know what you're doing actually works? So you need to use the relevance of technology, or what technology offers you, by bringing back the data, using them, analyzing them, getting insights from them, validating them, and then improving from there. And the methods that we have discovered that starts working really well when it comes to this space: learning, development, engagement, using digital for employees, employers, are: one, you need to be able now to access content with no limits, because that's what the internet has done to all of us. You can just go on to Google and you can just find anything you want. So any tool should not be any lesser. It should give you access to as much as possibly can, which allows you to grow as much and engage as much as you can. The next part is always keeping that context. It needs to be contextual to what you need right now, or what your organization needs right now. Next is, you as a learner should have front and center. You should be able to participate. You should be able to share with the community. You should be able to engage with everyone around you, have discussions and grow together. That's where tacit knowledge gets shared. That's where you will share your experience with somebody else will do the same with you, and all grow together. And then, of course, technology has to be an enabler to give you the thing you need at the time you need. So no less for any learning, development, or engagement technology. It should fulfill that as well. So keeping that in mind, so those are the ways that it's shifting, and how employees and employers should shift the way they look at learning, engagement, and development. But here's a point I want to make as well. I used a lot of word of tech. I use a lot of word of digital. But if you look at the roles that I put up here, and these are typically the roles that we look for here at Leaderonomics, especially in Leaderonomics Digital, you'll see there are some roles here that are a product of what we have been doing even before digital. So that's a marker to you saying that no jobs are being lost. They're just being repurposed in different ways to actually be reapplied in a new digital age. So any skill you have can be crafted to be fit into a digital kind of business. So in a learning, development, and engagement business like ours, these are the four main categories of things that we look at. Sales. And when it comes to sales, there is, of course, digital sales, strategic business development, because there's a lot of very creative ways digital businesses or digital solutions can reach the market. We need to think about that. And of course, country expansion, more so now because there are no more borders in the internet or the digital world. Then marketing. Marketing is very key because you got to get the word out. You got more eyeballs available to you. So in the marketing space itself, there's multiple kind of job careers and roles. From, of course, the top of the pile is a strategic planner. You're the one who plans the whole campaign, keeps it together, moves it forward, moves the resources around, and that's top of the pile. But of course, in between all of that, there's also the community manager, because now you're engaging with different communities all over the space, and you want to ensure that you have them engage with you at all times. Digital market campaign execution, to execute the campaigns as if it's an event, which is a long-term event. Demographic analysis, to know you're targeting well. Creative designers, especially for online material, for videos, those kind of things. Video editors, and of course, writers. For development side, of course, there's the product development itself. Any tool, the tech needs to be developed constantly. It cannot stand still. So product development is always going to be there. IT development is always going to be there. UX, UI designers, that's the interface that everyone sees. That's the experience that they get. So it's a constant moving target, because experience only gets better over time as people learn how to use digital tech better. Content development, content needs to be really valuable, People need to be able to gain insights out of it. They need to be able to do that at the shortest time possible. So content development, again, is a constant moving target role. Partnership development, because there are a lot of people doing a lot of things in this space as well. It's not a zero-sum game where you're fighting against somebody. Everybody can contribute and work together. So how do we find those opportunities to contribute and work together and use the tool as an enabler? And finally, on the deployment side, the solution delivery to your customers to make it successful, to ensure they get what they asked for and what they paid for. Customer engagement to ensure that they have maximum engagement when it's deployed. Success, ensuring they're meeting their target. Customer analytics, helping them sift through the data and get insight so that they can constantly craft the solution to fix their context. Support and administration. Problems will happen. There needs to be someone who's there to help. And system administration to ensure everything is working like clockwork. So these are the kind of opportunities that are available in Leaderonomics Digital or in this kind of a space. So if you are interested in any one of this, or you would like to find out more about it, of course, you can find out more at leaderonomicsdigital.com, .org, or you can just email us at learn@leaderonomics.com or info@leaderonomics.com. These two emails will get you to us and we will respond to you. And also, we do want to say a big thank you to MDEC for having us here as well. And also bringing us on board and listing us as in your learning directory as one of our massive open online course platform providers. So that's another space that you can find more information about us. Head on over to mdec.my learning on demand and you'll see the Leaderonomics Digital over there. Thank you, everybody. And on back to you, Redzuan.
Thank you, Nigesh. I found your presentation very inspiring. I like your mic especially. And yes, and yeah, forgot to mention that Nigesh also has experience as a master of ceremony for more than, I think, 20 years. So yeah, well-rounded person. And yeah, basically you have all sorts of experience. And so good to have you on board. So yes, I think now is the session where we open for question and answer. We have basically listened to all three panelists with on opportunities within this digital business services. And so when it comes to the opportunities, I think the panels already covered all sorts of opportunities ranging from human resource, solutions engineer, data analytics, UI, UX. So basically, these are all the opportunities that is available within this digital business services space. And now that with the trend that people are working remotely, and what you have in terms of opportunity is also to become part of the Fortune 500 companies, for example. And so I think that we have a couple of questions here. Maybe I start off with the first one. There's a question to Chris, Ematic Solution. Yeah, okay. As a fresh graduate in digital marketing, what kind of salary can I expect from organization like yours? Chris, maybe you can address that.
Yeah, sure. So we generally start off at 3,000 ringgit just to meet the market demand right now. So for fresh grads, but of course, we are open to, of course, negotiation, right? Of course, but at the same time, of course, we will also see the background, right? If you have any internship experience, because a lot of candidates that we speak to have a lot of internship experience these days, and also very valuable ones, right? Which they really deep dive into the digital marketing world, right? The internship, so that's very important to us as well. So yeah, in general, we start off at 3,000 ringgit, right? Just meet the market demand, and yeah, and then we will grow from there yearly based on the performance and so on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a opportunity of growth. I think like what you highlighted in your presentation as well. So yeah. Okay. There might be a follow-up question on that. So we just wait whether there's a follow-up question on that. Question to Santhi. Your thoughts on chemist or engineer position with both position specializing in analytics?
Wow, that's quite a creative question. But I would say that probably the person who is asking this has the love for numbers. I mean, they're probably having a chemical degree and also an engineering degree, but they suddenly realize that they love numbers and they're very detail oriented. So for me, analytics is wide. It's a wide study and there's a representation of data which comes from analytics. And this helps us to make data-driven decision making. All right. So a person with chemistry and engineering background would be the subject matter experts who will channel the information into a data or a platform or a system. All right. And there are definitely more than 100 over technologies out there, which is already a product of both people from technical and digital background. All right. I would say that my thoughts is it would be a niche skill, but if you have the passion to pursue a career in analytics and you happen to have an engineering or a chemist background, I would say use all the skills and knowledge that you have. And if you're already employed, I'm sure there are projects within any manufacturing or petrochemical organization where your skills or your love for analytics can definitely be used.
Okay, thank you, Santhi. Okay, we'll see whether there's a follow-up question on that. There's actually a question to all the panelists here. Let me just read this one. Analytical thinking and troubleshooting are best for engineers, chemists, rather than IT guys. So any thoughts from the panelists? Nigesh, maybe you want to start first?
Sorry, what analytical thinking and troubleshooting are the best for engineers, chemists, rather than IT person?
Yeah.
I completely disagree because I am actually a graduate engineer who is now working in the digital space. So I'll say that actually those two kind of thought processes, analytical thinking, troubleshooting, are very and super important, especially when you start moving into new spaces of work. I'm not just saying digital alone, because work spaces, employment, the kind of careers are shifting. But what it really helps you is to sift through all the different information that is coming your way. If anything, in this day and age, the amount of information a typical employee would be working with on a day-to-day basis is immense. It's very different from, let's say, about 20 years ago. And each year is just getting more and more and more. And there's different considerations that you have to go through. So when you go through all that information, how do you analyze it? What's the thought process you use? How are you going to come out the other end knowing this is what I'm going to do? So this is where analytical thinking really becomes super important. And the troubleshooting part of it, oh gosh, especially if you are moving into a more digital space, the amount of troubleshooting that you're going to have to do, especially because everything is software, IT, coding driven in some form, some way. What if something happens? You will actually have to work through that. You have to find out what the problem is. How do you solve the problem? Even if you're offering a solution, which is a wraparound to your tech, the solution is not going to be straightforward. There's going to be things that will go wrong. So everyone will have to figure out, how do I fix problem step by step and not become a clutter brain? So that skill, and this is why we call that transferable skill. Analytical thinking and troubleshooting is a transferable skill. You can use that regardless the industry, regardless the career type.
Yeah. Okay. Anything to add, Chris?
Yeah, I actually completely agree with Nigesh, right? I think analytical and critical thinking, and it has, I would say, and troubleshooting, I would say, has grown into every single role. I mean, speaking of HR itself, we have to use analytical thinking these days, right? To even talent development, talent acquisition, every area. For us in Ematic, HR is just not just doing the HR work, right? Because especially in talent acquisition, talent development, we need to understand the roles that we are, mapping out for talent development or career growth, right? So we have to sit down with these engineers, customer success, sales guys, performance marketers and stuff, right? So we have to understand how they do their work, right? And to see them use analytical thinking and troubleshooting day, every minute of their day, right? It helps us as non-digital guys. I mean, HR, right? Finance, even operations these days, right? Everybody needs to harness this skill, implement it in their role day to day, and just use it. So I think I completely agree, Nigesh. It's for everyone, every single role these days. So yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I think agree. I mean, these two skills are basically not only for specific domain. Santhi, anything you want to add?
I think I would agree with my two panel speakers. Analytics is something that is wide, and I think troubleshooting is basically every single problem that we face at work, or even a task that is given daily. It requires troubleshooting. So it's not. I would say it's not specific to certain roles. It's wide, and I would say even fresh grads, even when they're studying, they would need to use analytics and troubleshooting skills. So I would totally agree with both my speakers here. Thank you.
Yeah, and Santhi, there's actually a question directed to you as well. Basically, this person is asking, how big is the PPG shared services outfit currently? And you mentioned 2 towers, IT and finance. Do you also hire engineering graduates?
Okay, so there are 2 questions here. Our regional hub for IT and finance, we have about 300 employees, and they cover for a lot of countries. And I know that as of 2 days ago, we are still expanding. This is the latest information that we have. For IT roles specifically, we are bringing over projects from, I think, from Poland, from Mexico, from a lot of countries, and we have hiring managers like around the world. And basically, they are interested to hire locals. So I would say that for job seekers out there, if you're looking for a role in IT, don't shy away from sending your resume regardless of your background. I'm sure there is a project waiting for you here in PPG. So to answer exact, our numbers are 300 and we are growing. This is for the IT and finance team. And the second question was, sorry.
Second question was, do you hire engineering graduates?
Okay, so for engineering graduates, what we have done is we don't have a role for them, a permanent role for them, but from January this year, we have actually started a robust internship program. So we have hired a lot of interns and we have ask them to manage smaller projects within the team, so they would feel the accountability and the ownership, and they have literally contributed directly to certain projects happening within the operations and also the production department. So we have interns that we are looking for right now, but for fresh graduates, I would say that engineering fresh graduate, it's a bit tough because the market is looking for more experienced people. But if you're willing to try out just internship, our doors are always open for you.
Okay, cool. We still have questions coming in. Next one is for Nigesh. Basically, seek your advice on hard skill versus soft skills. Or semi-soft skills. I'm not sure whether that's a semi-soft skills.
Okay. Now, before I go into answering that, I actually want to say something to what Santhi said just now, because as I said, I graduated an engineer, but I ended up doing all these different things. Internship is a great way to actually add to your resume. So don't think it as, oh, this is something I just got to fulfill because my university says so, or this is something that is beneath me. No. As someone who may have graduated in a different role, that internship kind of allows you to apply yourself to something different. And that kind of shows to your future employer that, look, I'm adaptable. I can actually do these different things. So if you have an opportunity to take these internships, especially if you're in a lull period, go do it. It's really helpful. Now, to answer that question that came up about hard and soft skills. So I do not like using that word hard and soft skills. I think there's a misconstruction when we say that. Hard skills, oh, it's difficult for me to learn this. Soft skills, I don't really need it. And we usually kind of attach all these behavioral, these self-excellence skills to the soft skill side, and we go and attach the job required skills to the hard skill sides. So no wonder people would say, if I want to learn the job stuff, hard lah, don't want lah. Or if you want to go and learn the soft ones, people say, not really important. So a better way to represent it is actually transferable skills and functional skills. So transferable skills are skills that you have to have in you to apply yourself well. That's what transferable skills means. So you need to have those. You need to learn those. Things that we spoke about just now, like analytical skills, critical thinking, being able to actually project manage, having a creative mind. All these things are now falling into transferable skills. Actually, even design thinking, those kind of things are falling into transferable skills. They will help you no matter what role you're in, and they will help you actually apply yourself well, no matter where you are. But functional skills are equally important as well, because that gives you the exact skills you would need to perform your function well. So if you are a UX UI designer, yes, the transferable skills gives you good behaviors, give good attitudes, give you good ways to approach the job. The functional skills allows you to do the job well, because there are going to be some very specific items, technical items that you got to know. And that's where functional skills comes in. So it is not a case where you need more soft skills versus hard skills. They're equally important. You need to get them in you as much as possible and know when what is really required for yourself, and balance that when you go and develop yourself.
Okay, thank you, Nikesh. I think that's something that new perspective that everybody needs to understand, and functional skills and transferable skills. I think that's something that's so. I think we have a couple of minutes to go. About 5 minutes left. I think I would like to instead give my colleagues, my panelists, a few maybe minutes, 1 minute each to wrap up and highlights your key points, your key takeaways for the participants of today. Maybe I start off with Nigesh first.
Sure. So I think even on the theme, it's saying My Digital Workforce Week, right? So one thing that I had an interesting conversation with someone recently who actually has this podcast, which is actually done by an AI. So an AI is doing the podcast altogether. It's not a human being at all. So that conversation I had was interesting, because most people are worried, like, as we get more digital, are we going to cram more into our day? Are we going to lose our jobs? Those kind of standard worries are coming. And especially during this pandemic era, we kind of noticed how much we are losing our own life. But remember, it's just you needing to rethink how you balance your career and your life. And there's never going to be a lack of job. It's just going to change. Career is going to change. And right now we are at this impasse where even employees need to figure out what kind of careers they're going to come in future. You have to do your part as well. When you're in a company, it's not necessarily just follow the roles that you have. You can also suggest that, look, this could be an opportunity for the business. This could be the opportunity for an industry. How's about we start going into these solutions? And this is the kind of job or work that is required for here. How about we create a role for this? That can happen. So keep in mind that you have a lot of ability to kind of define what you do, and especially in the digital age, don't worry, there's always going to be a career path for anybody. It's an age of creation right now. Okay, thank you, Nigesh. Chris, yours, your takeaway.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, from my takeaways, that I was just a quick advice to all the job seekers, especially fresh grads, right? Like, go and explore yourself, right? Go and try all kinds of roles. Don't I know, some of us, we study law, accounting, yes, that's the route to go, right? But if you do find yourself interested, there's a sudden change or a sudden build of interest in something, right? Analytical or digital marketing, try it out first as a part-time or take a short course and learn more about it, right? And build up your interest. That if you like it, just take the risk and just change, right? Just try yourself, right? Like what Nigesh was saying, right? You have to create, you as an employee, you probably have to put your, I would say, your effort in creating the new role, right? The new opportunities in future, right? The world is going to grow, the opportunities is going to grow, right? So go out there, explore, learn, right? Don't just limit yourself to just one thing. Try new things, and you never know, right? Maybe if you're a law graduate, you're a legal counsel in a company, you will definitely need all these digital, solutions to help you, right? Because just to give you one good example, right? In Ematic, our legal counsel guys, right, team, right, will need to know a lot about our tech. Because from there, they are able to come up with policies or documents or with our partners or customers to, ensure that everything moves smoothly, right? So don't limit yourself, go and learn, right? Try new things, right? It doesn't mean that you have different career paths in the past. It doesn't mean you can't take on a new one, right? Even though you have to start as a junior, do it, right? It's where you want to grow. Start this journey and move up fast, grow fast, put in the effort, put in the time, grow. Yeah, so that's my takeaway. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Santhi, now your turn. Maybe some advice as well, especially to ladies and women out there who's looking into this digital global business services. You're probably muted.
I think right now we are at an age where gender is not really something that is a focus. But I would say, like, to working women who have actually left the workforce and would like to return back to work, there are so many platforms available for you. So please do your research, go find those platforms. There's always opportunities available. At PPG, we also believe that, we don't, we don't judge a candidate because they had a break, because they have left the organization because they wanted to look after their kids, or they had to look after their spouse. We don't judge the candidates based on that. And definitely when it comes to candidates, be it male, female, ladies, gentlemen, regardless of age, fresh graduates, I think what's important here is the skills that we're looking for, and whether you have the right attitude to complete your task, and whether you have the hunger to keep learning. So never stop learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So gender is not an issue. It's about skills
Definitely.
and your attitude. Okay. Thank you, my fellow colleague, my fellow panelists, Christopher from Ematic Solution, Ms. Santhi from PPG Malaysia, and Mr. Nikesh Ahman from Leaderonomics Digital for the great session. I wish we could have done this physically, but I think this is the new norm, and I think everybody will need to adapt to this new working approach. And I would like to thank you, everybody, for your time and for your contribution to this session. To those who's watching this session, stay tuned. There are more interesting sessions coming up. There's even one sharing session by a remote worker this afternoon. So please do promote and get many more to come on board and listen to this Malaysia My Digital Workforce Week. So thank you. I'm Redzuan. I'm basically signing off. Thank you to all the panels. And off to you, Hasrul. And
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Redzuan.
stay safe. Yeah.
Wow, thank you, Redzuan, and all the panel members for that engaging session, informative presentations, and career opportunities. Nigesh, can I apply to become your community manager? To the audience, do connect with these people on LinkedIn. I just sent my connection request to them. Thanks, Chris, for accepting. With that, I say thank you all once more. Thank you for your time and also your golden nuggets. To everyone out there, we'll now be moving forward to our next session of the day. It will begin very shortly, so do click join session and also complete the survey for each of the sessions for us to continuously serve you better. Do visit the My Digital Workforce Week at mydigitalworkforceweek.my, where we have over 5,000 jobs available from over 100 countries, 100 companies across industries. For more information, you can get them by the comment section on your right. So see you later on in a bit. Enjoy. Take care.